You might be wondering, who's this old guy on TikTok talking about anxiety disorder? Well, my name is Jim Folk, and I'm definitely old. I guess it's a matter of perspective. I turned 70 this year. I am the president of AnxietyCenter.com, and we help people overcome anxiety disorder and other mental health challenges as well. And we do talk about anxiety disorder because I suffered with anxiety disorder, intense anxiety disorder, for 12 years from 1974 to 1986. I had every symptom we list at the website, with most being to the severe degrees. My life was completely devastated at that time. I could barely function. I went to countless doctors and therapists and nutritionalists and changed diet and tried herbal remedies. Left the country, went to a different country for help, tried all kinds of pills and medications. And while I found some temporary relief in some of them, it just got worse and worse and worse, to the point where about year 8 or 9, I was barely functioning. I could only drive between my house and my work because I couldn't take driving. The motion and the panic attacks were just so severe, I couldn't leave the house almost. And so it was real bad. I wouldn't wish anxiety disorder at that degree on anybody. It was awful, I have to say, just awful. And I did a lot of research too. I tracked this and tracked that, kept journals, trying to figure out what was going on. I had a lot of questions that didn't have answers, and so I continued to struggle and spiral downward. One day, out of desperation, I was standing in my living room thinking, just watching the world go by and me barely functioning and being so symptomatic. I was just at the end of my rope. So I said, God, if you're there, I have only 2 choices. Either you're going to have to heal me or I'm going to kill myself, one of the two. I cannot take it anymore. And so that was it. Simple prayer. And I said, if you help me, if you heal me, then I will do whatever I can to help others. That was my commitment to God. At that time, I didn't know God existed, so it was just kind of a, Hail Mary prayer. Well, 2 weeks later, a psychologist came to my city who knew something about anxiety disorder, so I went to see him, and we had a long chat, and he answered a lot of the questions I had, which put a lot of the pieces together. And with his information and my research, I mapped out a recovery plan, and I stuck to it, and I worked that recovery plan diligently for 2 solid years. And at the end of that time, I overcame anxiety disorder. I got rid of all my symptoms, including panic attacks. I was able to drive again, and life returned to normal, essentially. Well, actually better than normal. That's a different story. And that was a long time ago. Again, I recovered in 1986, and I've been anxiety disorder free all that time. So that's, 37 years or so. Haven't had a panic attack since way back then either. And I talk about anxiety a lot. Again, trying to fulfill my commitment to God. This is what I do for my living. Try to help others overcome their anxiety disorder because it sucks big time. And so, based on that information, I built, a website, and that transitioned into AnxietyCenter.com in 2002. We brought therapists on board to help people because we realized that a lot of people, even though they want to self-help themselves, they can't because there's a lot going on with anxiety disorder they don't understand. And so a professional therapy is the way to go for sure. And so we brought therapists on who help people around the world. We have a team of therapists, I think almost 18 or 19 by now. And so we've been doing this work since 2004. So if you find our information helpful, certainly follow us along on TikTok here. We have a YouTube channel. We also have our website, which is AnxietyCenter.com. And center is the Canadian spelling of center, so that's TRE. And we have a lot of information there. The recovery support area of our website has a ton of information. We've got thousands of pages of information based on the conversations we've had, our own recoveries, and so on and so forth. Oh, by the way, our therapists have all experienced anxiety disorder themselves, and they've all overcome it themselves and been anxiety disorder free for years. So we know that our system works and our methods work. There's a lot of common things a lot of people use, but there are some things that people don't talk about that are essential to lasting success. So if that's of interest to you, check us out. Follow us here, or follow us on YouTube, or go to our website. We're eager to help. That's our passion. We love helping people because we know how bad anxiety disorder can be. So again, if you're finding our information helpful, follow us along. We're more than happy to answer your questions or help where we can.